So this is the third Kingsman movie, and this is a prequel taking place during World War I. I'm signed up. What is up, my fellow movie lovers, and welcome back to the Luke Ponto channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this thumbnail here today. Hope you guys enjoy your stay. Let's get another movie review out of the way, because today, you guys have been waiting for it ever since I announced I was going to review this. We're finally going to look at The Kingsman. This one was directed by Matthew Vaughn, who brought you the first two Kingsman movies. He also brought you a film like Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class. And it stars Ralph Fiennes, Djimon, Hounsou, Rhys, Ifans, and a stacked cast to name but a few. In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to rise against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions. So going into this movie, I was excited, but also was a little bit nervous because I thought this one was just going to be like as over the top as Kingsman The Golden Circle was. Like, I thought Kingsman The Golden Circle was way too over the top, in my opinion. It's still a decent watch, but it's not like one that's like topping the first movie by any means. The first movie is freaking awesome. Like, it has the over-the-top level of its story, and it knows exactly what it's going for. With this one, yes, there may be times where it goes over the top, but they actually keep that to a minimum, which is something that I really respect about The Kingsman, is that they actually keep the over-the-top violence to a minimum. That is something that I love about this movie. And also, these set pieces really scream early 20th century. Like, that is some really neat production design. Like, to me, I couldn't have imagined a better production design than what we got out of The Kingsman. It just looks and feels like you're in the early years of the 20th century. And it just feels that way. Like, you look at it, and you're like, and you sit there watching this movie on the biggest screen that you have, and you're just like, I really am in the early 20th century. Because that's how I felt when I was sitting here watching this movie. Now, it took me a few weeks to review this movie. I mean, I saw this on New Year's Eve in theaters with my best friend, and it took me a little while to process the movie. I wanted to process it a little bit before actually fleshing out my thoughts and giving you guys what you want to hear, like, from me personally about The Kingsman. Because personally, I'm not like my buddy Zach Goller or Jacob Hubbard that thinks this is like a very like middle of the road film. Like, in regards to action films of 2021, I think this is actually one of the better action movies that we gotten in 2021. I had an absolute blast with The Kingsman. And most of that has to go with these action sequences that are actually very minimum with over-the-top stuff. And I respect that about this movie. And I love how it takes place during World War I. To me, that honestly is a very interesting time period to set a Kingsman movie in, like a prequel, kind of showing you like how the agency formed and like how, you know, these people came together and all that stuff. I just really respect that about this movie. And I gotta talk about Ralph Fiennes here. You guys remember Ralph Fiennes as one of the most iconic characters in cinema as Voldemort in the Harry Potter movies. But with this film, I mean, I love him as Voldemort, but with this movie, I really think he gets a chance to shine with his badassery. This dude, really, like, this is not one of those actors that just shows you that older guys can still kick ass kind of thing. Like, Liam Neeson has proven that. Bob Odenkirk has proven that. Keanu Reeves has proven that. Ralph Fiennes can even do that. Like, he's a badass in this movie, especially with that third act of that final fight scene. Like, with those final fights with those, with the enemies. I thought they were really well directed and really well edited, in my opinion. Like, that's how, at least how I viewed it. And Djimon Hounsou as Merlin, I thought he was fantastic in this movie. Like, there were some really good moments with him and Ralph Fiennes. And I'm glad that Djimon Hounsou actually had a more major part to play in this film rather than just being like a cameo like he was in A Quiet Place Part 2. Anybody remember that? Now, but with this film, he really gets more time to shine and actually working a little bit better, like more with Ralph Fiennes. And the chemistry that they have, especially the chemistry, like, it just works really well. The chemistry that even Ralph Fiennes and his son have in the movie, it's so good. Like the guy who plays as Conrad in this movie, he does really well with Ralph Fiennes, but obviously I feel like Ralph Fiennes at times was trying to be like this overprotective father of Conrad, but it works for me, actually. It really does work. It doesn't just feel like your generic like overprotective father or anything like that, like in the movie. I really feel like Matthew Vaughn did justice to that, in my opinion. Rhys Ifans was also really good. Everyone in this film was really good. The action was directed so well with Matthew Vaughn. I love these characters, and I love the set pieces that this movie actually offers us. It just works for me. Now, I have a couple of issues with The Kingsman, because this is not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. One of my biggest issues with this movie is the film's first act. Now, I get it. The first act of this movie was basically to do setup, you know, for what we were going to get in the second and third acts. But to me, I really felt like the first act of this film dragged. Like, I know it's set up to basically prepare for what we get in the second and third acts. But I don't know. I just felt like, okay, can we speed it up here a little bit, please? I'm getting because at the first act of this film, I was like, okay, this movie's kind of lost me right now. But once it gets to the second and third acts, and when the action really starts happening in the movie, I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. That was it. And it just keeps going from there, and I love it. I just love when it goes to the second and third act. But my other issue is the twist. Now, some people may not see the twist coming, or maybe even predict the twist. I couldn't predict it, honestly, but I just thought that twist was honestly unnoticed. Like, honestly, it just felt plain, honestly. No spoilers or anything like that, but I just felt like that twist just didn't really make any sense to me, if I'm gonna be honest. But besides those issues, The Kingsman is a fun movie with some really good emotional stuff, especially that happens in the second act of the movie. I really think this film is a great way to kill about 2 hours of your time. It just works, and I really want to see a sequel in this film's universe. I'm going to give The Kingsman a B+. I'm going to say it. I think it's a criminally underrated movie. There you go. I said it. Yeah, guys, shoot your ass down in the comments below saying, look, this movie's not underrated. I think it's underrated. It's better than The Golden Circle. Nowhere near as good as the first movie. Like, I think the first movie is awesome. Second one's good. This one's better, if I'm going to be honest. It's better than the second one, not as good as the first film. But this is a really awesome way to kill 2 hours of your time. So, if you enjoyed the first two Kingsman movies, you're going to enjoy this movie nonetheless. But obviously, this is all my opinion. Sound off as much as you like down in the comments below. What did you guys think of The Kingsman? Did you guys enjoy it as much as I do? Do you love this film? Do you think it's better than the first movie? Or did you absolutely hate it and think this was and makes The Golden Circle look like a masterpiece? Let me know down in the comments below. And what was your favorite film that Matthew Vaughn has ever directed? And also, hit that subscribe button down below and click on that notification bell to get notified of every single video I upload here on the channel. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way out, because it's very beneficial for me to get my content out there. That would be awesome. Look forward to more awesome content in the channel very, very soon. And I actually thought about doing a Candyman series, since because I reviewed the new one. I'm actually going to review the original Candyman trilogy from the 90s. So, look forward to that very soon. I don't know when I'm going to start those reviews, but I'll get those done as soon as I can. But you guys are awesome. Look forward to more awesome content in the channel. You guys are the best. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to see more content from me, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.